Yo guys, Features Gaming here and welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we are back on Euro Truck with another episode of the TruckingCareer, episode 19 today. Now just before we start this video, this actually is supposed to be episode 20, and the episode that we did before, episode 18, should have actually been episode 19. And I'll show you why. If I go to my progress history, you can see here I did a job London to Plymouth, which you guys never saw on the channel because when I recorded it, I was using my box, and when I was reviewing the footage, the game sound was kind of overwriting my my voice. So I decided not to upload it in the end because you wouldn't have been able to hear me fine. So yeah, I just, I couldn't really, backtrack that journey. So, I just thought I'd do a journey off camera and just tell you guys about it. And I did actually talk about it in the last episode, but as I'll talk about later on in the video, you will see how, you will see why. And this is the job we did, this is the job that we did yesterday, not yesterday, the last episode. We did a London to Arnsbrook job taking, I think it was 22 tons of forklifts, I think it was. And we got quite a profit from that. So, yeah. I apologise for last episode that it was a time lapse, but I'll talk about that later on in the video because it kind of, goes on nicely about what I was going to talk about. And I have actually got quite a few things to talk about in this episode. So get ready, guys, because this is going to be quite a big one. So let's go and figure out what job we're going to take. I'm just going to turn this up in my ear slightly as well because it's quite low. There we go. So we are over here in Arnsbrook in about West Germany. So what can we take? We've got a yacht going back to roughly where we were. We've got 23 tons of milk to to Portsmouth, actually. I thought it was to Southampton. That's Southampton. We've got Arnsbrook to Lyon, 11 tons. Could be okay. We've got one to Katowice, I think that is, in Poland. Also, I am on Pro Mods as well, because my laptop seems to be working fine. And I've actually done another modification as well. Which again I'll talk about later on in the video, but yeah, there's more parts of Spain and stuff like that, Egypt and Israel and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know what job to take really. I'm thinking this 11 tons to Lyon because I do have a loads of things as I've said that I want to talk about, so we might just go ahead and take this. So 11 tons of forklifts. So we're effectively going to do the same job as the last one, but just going a bit further. If it was further, and yeah, so should be good. So let's fire up the truck. Let's get these things on. It is raining slightly, which is fantastic. So let's get going. So let me just okay. There we go. I'm going to turn it down a little touch. There we go. Right, let's get moving. Okay, let's stop. Right, so going on here? You want me to go? No. You're gonna let me go? If I can get into gear. There we go. Jesus, this this city is confusing and just difficult because my truck's not getting into gear. Anyway, as I said, there are a few things that I want to talk about in this episode. So, as I said, I do apologise for the last episode being a time lapse. As I said, I will talk about that later on in the video. The first thing to notice as well, I am actually recording this video using OBS. I'm not actually using my box to record this video. Because as I said, my laptop seems to be working semi at the moment for this. I'm actually going to do that thing. So yeah, I thought if I can use OBS to record my TruckingCareer videos, then it should be easier for me to make them, because as I've talked about in a previous episode, it's easier just for me to record using OBS and not, using my box. And I'll talk more about that once we hitch up. So let me just reverse this in. There we go. We in? Now we're in. There we go. Let's get a nice thumbnail shot here. There we go. I'll just get that one. Okay, off we go. So why is it easier just for me to record with OBS? Well, simply because you can just, save the video file to, a file on your computer, load it, and then load up Premiere or, the editing software, and then just import it. With my box, I had to connect my box to my PC, and then I had to transfer the file to my computer and then edit it. So it just makes it a little bit easier, and it's just, so much easier to, control different things in OBS. Like, you can set it to just record the game, so if you Alt-Tab, it won't record that, whereas my box would. Oh, thank you, lights. So yeah, and it's just super easy to, just, configure the audio things, change the audio sliders, not having to try and figure out, the settings using the box. So yeah, it's just easier to do it with OBS. And as I said, my laptop seems to be working, so hopefully this one should this one should work. And there's a little bit of something as well that I'll talk about in later on. Another reason why I like OBS is because I've found a new feature using OBS is that you can actually split your audio into different tracks. Meaning that if you're recording and you don't know if your audio levels are fine, that's fine. You can just hit record and then just, record like normal. And then when you put it into your editing program, the video will actually have two audio tracks, one being your voice and one being the gameplay audio if you set it up correct. And that is why the last episode was a time lapse, is because I had my voice accidentally set on two tracks. And one of the tracks was used for the gameplay audio. And the reason why I didn't just forego with it and, okay, so I just upload it is because the game sound was again overwriting my voice sound. So yeah, it is a little bit trial and error when trying to get audio, things correct. But I've kind of got like the audio like kind of set when I'm recording Roblox. Not ready for when I'm recording Eurotruck, but that is fine. So I've got it set up correctly. I've literally created like a new scene selection for recording and streaming, so I know that everything's going to work. And just with this scene selection, I've got it set so the recording will be in two separate tracks, and with streaming, all of them will be in one track, which is what I need to stream it. So that is that, and obviously how the last episode was a time lapse. And I've just realised I am literally like going through these things real quickly as well, so it might be that I might actually be able to, do some just general driving without talking about stuff. Anyway, going on. So, what I have done to my... So, when I was doing the time-lapse yesterday... What do I keep saying yesterday? When I was doing the time-lapse, the game was a little bit laggy when I crossed the border into the... it was a little bit laggy when I went from the UK to the France where we're in now, or Germany or whatever. It was a little bit laggy, like it was doing that thing where, it just, was running smoothly and then, juddered a little bit. It was doing a bit of that once I crossed the border as well. And yeah, it was a little bit frustrating. And even with it being sped up, you could see it. And yeah, so it wasn't the best time lapse. It wasn't like super smooth, but it was still a journey in this series, and I just wanted to get it out there. So what I've done to my laptop is because went into the barrel of my truck. Brilliant. Hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. It's raining though, which is affecting the handling a little bit. But yeah, it's not really an excuse to, just plow off into the the railing, is it? So, as I said, I've done some improvements. Well, not really improvement, but I've done a modification, sort of, to my laptop. And many of you guys have seen this on Discord if you were part of it. I have posted this out. I think when this video is coming out, I did it probably about 3 days ago. So you guys don't know, or I don't currently know yet if it has made a massive difference. You guys obviously would. But from what I can see so far, I think it has, because it's not lagging at all. Like, I haven't seen a single, like screen tear or screen freeze, whatever like that. So yeah, the issue with it lagging is because we think my laptop was overheating. And I didn't know why it wasn't, like doing this in 2019 when I was able to, stream this game and, just record on it perfectly fine. So obviously that's when we made the upgrade to, get new RAM stuff earlier on this year. And yeah, obviously the RAM did work for a time being, and then it, went back to its normal self. And we were kind of like thinking, well, what now can we do? And still to this day, we don't know what it is, but we kind of thought maybe it is down to my laptop overheating. Now, obviously, with me being on a laptop and being sat at a desk, the airflow, there's two air vents to my laptop. There's one on the above and one underneath, and the underneath one didn't really have much space to breathe. Obviously, being on my desk for the entire time. Why does my cruise control keep turning off? It's really weird. I'm not even pressing the cruise control button, and it just turns off automatically. So I don't know what's going on there. So I was kind of like thinking, well, what can I do to hopefully improve the airflow? And simply what I've done is I've just stuck a book, and it's just like tilted my laptop at a slight angle, so it's actually easier for me to play, because the keyboard is slightly slanted, and it's just actually more comfortable to play on with my laptop being in that kind of position. So yeah, I just put a book, lifted my laptop up slightly, so hopefully the underneath fans have a bit more air to breathe. And as you can see, I'm not seeing a single screen tear since I've done that modification, so it seems to have worked. And what I'm planning on doing in the future is getting I think it's a cooling pad. And basically what it is it's basically you put your laptop on top of it, and there's fans on the cooling pad that spin and basically push air into your laptop, and it basically gives your laptop a bit more air ventilation, basically, meaning that it will stop overheating like it was doing before. So that is another thing that we're going to try and think of. It's try and make my laptop less, or try and make my laptop lag less, even less, if it was still lagging now. But as you can see, me just sticking a book underneath my laptop and my laptop being up at a slight angle, it seems to be doing the job. So hopefully if we get one of these cooling systems, A, it should be, my game should run flawlessly, and B, hopefully, does anyone else get that when you're just talking about something and then when you do something else you just completely lose it? I've just completely lost all track of what I was talking about. I was talking about the cooling pad. So yeah, obviously my game should run fine. The only issue that I think there might occur is noise levels. I'm not too sure. I mean, from the reviews of what I've seen, it doesn't seem to be too noisy, but it will be slightly noisy. So obviously I haven't got it, so yeah, I don't know what will happen. Will my mic pick it up? Because obviously with it being a great mic, and I've applied some filters on it, I don't know if it will pick it up. I'm hoping not. But as I said, from one reviewer I saw, it doesn't seem to make too much noise, which is good for what I need it to be. So hopefully it's just going to be there as make my game run a bit better. So yeah, that's another thing I've done. Stuck in a book underneath my laptop. I mean, it's a fairly thick book, just so it's a bit more higher than if I just stuck it in a normal book. So yeah, it's pretty easy. And yeah, as I said, it's made a difference, a massive difference. So yeah. Another thing I want to talk about in this episode is what has been occurring with my merch store on Teespring. So over this past few weeks, Teespring has actually been rebranding their site to be just Spring. So not the Teespring, just Spring. And it has actually affected a few other users. So not just me, it has actually affected a few other people. However, when I've talked to other people I know who own a Teespring site, like Rizzy, and I think that's pretty much it actually. But just emailing them, emailing Teespring, which I'll talk about later. When I asked Rizzy about it, she said that no, my account's still there, my shop's fine, so maybe just email Teespring about it. And I said, yeah, that's what I've done, because I had already emailed Teespring at this point about, look, what's going on, my shop's just disappeared, because it was actually a fan that actually told me on one of my streams that they were trying to get onto my store to, see what was available. So I was like thinking, okay, this is weird, what's happened? So at the end of the stream, I went onto my Teespring site and saw that it was gone. Like, I couldn't see a thing. I logged in, I went to my stores tab, and literally my store was just gone. My listings, however, were still on my listings page, but none of them were active. So I was just like thinking, okay, this is weird, what has gone on? So obviously, as I said, you just actually got a bit of a screen tear there, but hopefully when I get my calling system, that shouldn't happen. On about that, as I said, messaged Rizzy about it. She said, no, my store's there, so just email Teespring about it, which I did. And I just said, hello, what's gone on? My listings seem to be inactive, my store's gone, what's happened? And they just replied saying, yeah, we've just been rebranding our site. It seems like it's affected a few of our users. Just create a new storefront, activate your listings again, and see what happens from there. So that's what I did. I reactivated the listings, created a new store, and tried to add the listings. So I went onto the edit store, add listings or products, add it, and it still wouldn't come up. So I emailed them again saying, okay, I've activated the listings and I've gone onto the add products, but nothing's showing up. What do I need to do next? And they just simply said about, just searching it up. And then I just searched it up, and the product was there. But the thing is that I tried to search up the listing the night before, but still didn't come up. So I had no idea what happened there. So yeah, I got it all working. So guys, the merch store is now up and running. So yeah, if you want to go and get some Features Gaming merch, go over to my Teespring site. Link is in the description. We have t-shirts on there, phone cases, well, iPhone cases at the moment. We're still trying to make Android phone cases, and judging by it, I think they might be able to come out this weekend. So stick around for that, and Android phone cases may come out this weekend on my store. And we also have mugs as well, for to have hot drinks, or just any drinks really, but mainly for hot drinks. So yeah, the Teespring site is now up and running, so make sure you guys go ahead and get some Features Gaming merch if you so wish to. Another thing I want to talk about is, this is the last thing, and then I might just talk about a few things that happened in the last episode that was in the time lapse, and seeing if I can introduce it in the video, like have it in a, I don't know, like a box or something, just showing you what had happened. So I want to try and experiment a little bit with the style of different videos. So what I want to do is kind of, what did you just see that other car in front? That car just, I didn't really know, it was like a Formula 1 car, just gone to the power, turn right, and then it just like power slided. That was a weird glitch. But yeah, what I want to do is I kind of want to like introduce the video, like start the video how I normally would do, go and pick up the job, and then if I have a few things to talk about, do so. If I don't, then what I want to do is I basically just say, so I'm just going to go and deliver this job, guys. So I will go and deliver this. If I see something that I want to catch up with you guys on, I will do so, and just have it as a time lapse and just play some music. Yes, I know that just seems, I don't really know. Well, then what's the point? Because you're not really going to be speaking, it's just going to be a time lapse of you doing the job. And I get that, so you guys might not like that. But I was like thinking, well, maybe, later on in the future, I can think about, doing, like, well, no, well, not really necessarily in the future, just like now. Just mainly just, doing a few jobs where, I just pick up the job and then just go and complete it. But it's really up to you guys. So what I might do for the next episode is do that style so you guys can actually see what it's like. And then the next episode after that, I'll return to like this format where I just tell a few stories and see what happens. So yeah, so keep a lookout for the next episode, as I kind of want to record it, as I said, and everything like that. So that's everything I basically wanted to say, pretty much. So now let's go on to talking about things that I did in the last episode that I think were kind of cool, but unfortunately we didn't pick up because of the time lapse. So the first thing was, as I said, we got the kind of the same kind of trailer as we have now. And as you can see, it's, with like 4 axles, so it's kind of long, and, it's just got the same, cargo on. The first thing I had to try and navigate, let's say, was getting onto the channel tunnel, because obviously if you don't know in Pro Mods, you actually have to drive onto the channel tunnel itself. So, you can't just park up where, you get onto where you actually had to specifically get in there. So I rolled some footage up on the thing of, the actual, real time of me getting onto the trailer. So, yeah, it was quite tight because obviously, as I said, my trailer was quite long, and is this car going to move over? And as you can see, or if you have seen, because I can't see it when I'm playing, I had to take quite a long turn because of my, trailer being so wide. So I tried to, get it over to the other end, swing it back round, and then swing it in, and then just drive in. And the trailer just followed in smoothly. And I actually said in that video, I think that's probably the best maneuvering I've ever done in the game. So I think that was kind of cool to do. The other thing is I had to pick up some fuel along the way. So what I had to do was, I even in gear? No, I wasn't. So what I had to do is I had to pull into a fuel station. I couldn't see any along the motorway. I had to actually reconfigure or reroute myself to actually pick up a fuel station, because the next one was probably about 2 hours away, and I was, I already had that notification saying you are running out of fuel, please find a fuel station or something. So that kind of made me a bit worried if I was actually going to make it. I was actually getting worried if I was actually going to make the first one anyway. So I managed to get there without having to, do the emergency refuel thing. I'm not even supposed to be on this lane, am I? So yeah, I went into the fuel station, and again I had to do some maneuvering in there because it was quite tight and I didn't know how to get around there. So I decided to, keep it to the left as possible, trying to swing it round, because obviously I'll show some footage. But I got in, and then what I had to do is I kept it to the very left. I had to, pull in to, refuel. And then what I did after I refueled was reverse a little bit. And then I basically kept my truck to the very left of everything. And if I just... Is that car going to move over, car? Thank you. And what I was doing is I was looking at that mirror for, the whole time. Trying to get that edge of the truck all the way over to the left of whatever it was. The, pavement or whatever it was. Managed to get around there with no issues, which I was very doubting myself for doing that. I mean, I don't know if it's still playing because it took ages to do. I was literally crawling around at a snail's pace. I managed to get around and do it, so that was cool. No damage done to the trailer or anything, and it went pretty well. So that was cool. Managed to get around there. The end part was probably the hardest, because what I had to do was, even though I was keeping it to the left, I had to still get out, and the exit was on the left. So once I got around the corner, I kept turning I kept turning right to go to the right of the road, and then swing around to the left and keep it on the road right, if that makes sense. So managed to do that, and managed to get out of the fuel station all fine, and was able to get going and everything. And I think the whole thing probably took about, I don't know, 5 minutes to do. I really don't know. It was probably 2 minutes or something. I couldn't tell, but yeah, it took quite a while to do that. But I managed to do it. Another thing that happened, which I actually have no idea when it happened in the video, but I was going onto a roundabout. I think this was relatively near my destination. I went to pull out at a roundabout. I was in the correct lane, and then there was a car to the right of me that was, which was, the position to go into the first exit. Or take the lane to the very right on the roundabout. I think I was taking the third exit, so obviously I was on the other lane to, go around the roundabout. And when we put off from the junction to go into the roundabout, I felt a knock. You know, behind me, and it was actually a car that had just turned into me, and I got a little bit of damage from it, and I was just like thinking, oh my god, are you serious? And it, you know, honestly, it was like 1 damage to my truck, and I was just like, are you serious? I mean, obviously, you know, like 1% isn't, you know, a lot. So yeah, I was kind of a little bit bummed about that, because I was like thinking, well, God, well, mate, you were supposed to be on your lane. Why did you turn in and hit me? I didn't get the fine for it because I have actually turned traffic offence turned on for some reason. But yeah, I didn't get a fine from it, which I'm glad I didn't. Otherwise, that would have costed me more money. But yeah, he turned in, caused about 1% damage to my truck, and I was like thinking, well, 1% it isn't really that much, so I might just save up. But still, that's money, you know, to pay off. So at the end of the episode, you didn't see this. Obviously, it was just a time lapse. I did this completely off camera. So what I did is I drove to the nearest service center when I finished, which was actually where I was at the start of this episode. Repaired my truck. I think it was about £1,500, which I was like thinking, brilliant. We've minused that out of the bank, so obviously we had to pay that. And well, now we just got a fresh truck. I mean, we did get some damage earlier on, but it was only to the trailer, so it wasn't too bad, which was weird because we, you know, just went into the, you know, like the, yeah, we crashed into the barrier with the front of our, you know, with the front of our truck. So I don't know why it's damaged the trailer when we hit it with the cabin. No idea what's going on there. But yeah. So obviously, I showed the footage. If editing fetch actually did that. Why does my cruise controls keep turning off? Keep on. Yeah. There were the things that I kind of wanted to talk about in this episode quite a bit. So what I might do now is hopefully keep the cruise control turned on. And what I might do is I might speed up this video entirely until we get to the depot, and I'll catch up with you guys when we're near the depot, unload this job, and end out the episode and do something else if we want to do that. Okay, so apparently we've got a diversion now. I mean, the thing is actually just automatically rerouted us, I think. So, I'm going to continue along here and see if we encounter any more issues. We shouldn't, hopefully. But I don't know where else it would expect us to go, so yeah, we're just going to keep going. And what is that truck behind me doing? He just turned into me. Honestly, what are the AI in this game, honestly? But yeah, we'll keep going, see if we encounter any issues. We shouldn't in theory, but we'll keep going and see and have a look. so we're about 45 minutes away from our destination, pretty much an hour or 3/4 of an hour, and not really been entertaining, really, to be honest. Nothing really has gone on. We've crossed the border twice, I think, to go into Switzerland, so we're now officially in Switzerland now, delivering to the destination. Well, actually now in southern France now, I think, as Lyon is in France, actually. I think we had to go through Switzerland. I think that's what I meant. So we crossed from Germany to Switzerland, and then we crossed from Switzerland to France. And we're just making our way into Lyon right now, just stuck behind a bit of traffic, because there's a dumpster truck thing in front. It's going quite slow. And this truck ain't going to overtake it, is it? I just know it isn't. Not so easy to check if it's fine to overtake as well, because yeah, our car is on the other side. But it doesn't matter though, because we are taking a right here. It is also transitioned into night as well, so that's not made it any easier, because yeah. And I have had a few frame drops as well. I don't know if they've been noticed on the time lapse, but yeah, the game has been lagging ever so slightly. I mean, I think we've only had 2 in the time of, in the space of probably about, I don't know, 45 minutes of driving in real life. So it really hasn't, it's, barely noticeable, like when you just, just driving and, just minding your own business. So I think my PC is pretty much back to where it belongs. We just need to get one of those fans, and then, it should be good. So that's going to be awesome. But here we are at our destination in Lyon. We just need to take a right into this depot. What is it? A NDS? What is that? A NOS? That's going to be a France name, isn't it? Hatchorages? Is that a name? I don't know. Oh, it's a little dirt track, and then we need to turn left. There's some cows over there. Moo. Lol. And then it's a left turning into the actual depot itself. And here we are. So now we just need to pick what we want to do. So I'm going to do the the most difficult parking that we can do. And this is around the back, isn't it? Okay. Oh, hold on, let's go back a little bit as well. I don't actually have the beacons on from this truck at all this job, so yeah, we could have done that, but really no need. Right, I have a feeling we have to reverse into that space, judging by the other ones. So luckily, I don't think it's going to be too tricky. I mean, can we actually turn it around up there? We might be able to. It's going to be tight, but we can try. Alright, let's do it now. Actually, now that I've got myself into it, I don't think we can. Yeah, it's a trailer that's getting stuck, isn't it? Keep going. Keep going. There we go. Alright, and then let's just line it up. There we go. Would this have been easier if we turned it around and then reversed into the thing? Probably, but we don't know. Or probably not, I don't know. But there we go. Excellent rating and no damage at all. So we got 24k in the bank and 1,706 experience. Awesome. What skill point, or what should we get with our skill point? We can get, what is this? We can get some gases, so that might actually improve the job market a little bit. We can get more longer distance, so we have, a longer job to go, but could be a bit more money in the bank. High value cargo and fragile cargo, again, probably the same. Just in time delivery could make for an exciting episode. If we, get delays and stuff, it'll make us having to push. The eco driving is really, just saving money. So I think I might get just in time delivery to spice it up a little bit on a few jobs. So that is going to be it. So, yeah, as I said, we delivered to Lyon in France. And obviously, we did start all the way up here, here in Osnabrück. We went there. So, awesome. That is going to be the end of this episode. So, let's just have a quick look on what we could possibly get in the next episode. So we can go all the way up to Denmark, £41,000. That could be an okay job. It will just take ages to do though, but if we're going to do it, with no voices, I said, then that might be okay. We can go to Spain if we want to, taking a dozer crawl. That might actually be an okay one to do, actually, in fact. It's only 19k. Again, you got cars to Portsmouth as well in the UK. So yeah, I think we've got some pretty okay jobs. So next episode might be okay, but as I said, I want to try the new style if I can. So if you did like this video, then leave a like and that'll be awesome. And thanks very much. Also, make sure to subscribe as well if you haven't already, as I do daily streams on the channel. So if that is what you're interested in, then make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button. But again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Until then, take care and peace out.